Okay, hi everyone, welcome back. And in this update, we are going to check out Ondo's price chart and see what is going on in the short term. And I might be able to sort of kind of identify some optimistic signs. But before we get into all that good stuff, we are going to talk about this very important tweet from Ondo. And in case you missed it, they recently shared a clip of Larry Fink, which is the CEO of BlackRock. And in case you don't know BlackRock, it is literally the biggest asset manager in the whole world, managing over 10 trillions of dollars worth of assets. And what he said in this video is extraordinarily important for us, not just for Ondo, but also for the entire real world asset or RWA sector. Let's just break it down real quick, and before we do so, let's actually listen to this clip very carefully.
I would say the biggest question from central banks is what is the role of tokenization and digitization? How quickly should they think about digitizing their own currency? What does that mean for the role of the dollar? If every currency digitizes and we have, what does that mean for bank payments? What does that mean for the payment companies like MasterCard and Visa? All these are being questioned right now. I think we spend so much time talking about AI. We're not spending enough time talking about how quickly we're going to tokenize every financial asset and the opportunity we're going to have a digital wallet and moving ETFs and other things through a digital wallet. And I think that's going to happen worldwide very rapidly. And I think most countries are ill-prepared for that and underappreciate how technology is changing that, not unlike how technology is changing AI and other things. It will be changing the technology around the plumbing of finance.
Okay, so couple of very important points in here. Number one, he wasn't actually asking if tokenization will happen. He was asking how fast is it going to happen? And point number two, he basically said every financial asset, including ETFs, bonds, basically every single thing will be tokenized and moved into digital wallets. And he used a very specific phrase, the plumbing of finance. And that means the actual infrastructure that moves money and assets around the world is about to be rebuilt on blockchain rails. And when the head of traditional finance says this out loud, it is a very clear signal indicating that even the biggest players right now believe blockchain is the future foundation of global finance. And the real question in here in this specific video is this: what is going to be Ondo's position in all this? You see, this is actually where Ondo fits perfectly because their entire business model is built around tokenization of real world assets, like for example, maybe US treasuries through products like OUSG, which lets people hold yield-bearing treasuries on chain. So when Ondo reposts this clip, the message is very simple. Larry Fink is literally describing our business and he's defining the problem, and we as Ondo are already building the solution for you. Now, in terms of why this is actually so bullish for Ondo, I got three very important reasons for it, and number one reason has to come down to market validation, because this 100% proves that what Ondo is currently building isn't just a niche. It is actually fully global, and it is about to be the future of all assets, not just crypto. Reason number two, I think, comes down to the RWA narrative getting stronger and stronger as we move forward, because every single time a figure like Fink speaks, the RWA story gains more credibility, and that directly benefits Ondo, which is already seen as a blue chip RWA project. So overall, I think we definitely do have positive news about Ondo, and as we move forward, it seems like that Ondo's narrative is just getting stronger and stronger. So hopefully by the end of this bull run, we are also going to see all of the fundamental effects show themselves into price as well, and we are going to see hopefully massive price appreciation. Now, in terms of what is going on right now, well, I think we can all agree that the price doesn't necessarily reflect what is going on in terms of fundamentals, but the thing is, like, Ondo in this process is not really alone. All the other altcoins as well right now are actually not really performing well. So I don't really think that Ondo is going to be the only problem, and you should expect a very strong rise from here in order to set an all-time high and take the highest high, which is about $2.1. I think that might be a bit unrealistic. However, I still do believe that by the end of this cycle, we are going to have an alt season, and Ondo probably will be one of the projects that is going to perform really, really well. And I actually saw one of you guys saying in the comments that I said that the top for Ondo is somewhere around $1.7. You see, I didn't really say that. I said you need to be open-minded to different possibilities, and one of those scenarios indicates, you know what, maybe the top for Ondo, and for that matter, for a lot of other altcoins as well. Generally, the whole altcoin market is in. Now, when I say the top might be in, even if you want to go with this scenario, this doesn't really mean that we are going to crash, okay? These are two very different things. This just means that in Ondo, and generally I would say in the whole altcoin market, we're just going to do some more chopping around, maybe get like another move on the downside or so, and then we are going to start the next cycle. Probably I'm gonna say from these prices, because I'll be honest with you, we didn't really have like a massive bull run in the altcoin market in order for us to get in the bear market like massive crashes. I don't really think, even in case that the top is already in, a lot of altcoins are going to go down more than what they already did. I think we are probably going to consolidate in here, and soon I'm actually counting on a decent move on the upside in Ondo, and I really find it hard to believe that these moves on the downside are going to continue, since we got this massive crashing event and basically everybody in this process got liquidated, even those ones that had like a 1-to-2 leverage position, okay? There is literally no leverage in the altcoins right now at all. So that's actually a very important sign suggesting downside is quite limited. Now, let's go on our own Coinbase chart and see what is going on. And by the way, in case you didn't watch the previous video about Ondo, the reason that I like this chart is because, as you can see in here, we didn't really get like those insane shadows that we got in Binance and in a lot of other exchanges. The lowest low, in fact, on Coinbase's chart is somewhere around, let's say, 58 cents. And this actually sort of kind of, in my view, proves that there was some trickery going on between market makers in a lot of exchanges, but seems like definitely not on Coinbase, because it's not on those charts alone in here that in it we didn't get like insane shadows. You can also look at QNT's chart, you can also look at Algorand's chart, maybe Yasmin Coin's charts. Basically, in a lot of charts in Coinbase, market makers actually did a good job, and they didn't really pull any liquidity out of the market. So definitely kudos to Coinbase. Now, what is going on in here? If you remember, in the previous video about Ondo, we were right around this area, and the idea was that what you want to see overall is a move on the upside in order to take this important high about, let's say, 82.5 cents. Why did we care about that high so much? Because we were saying, if we go up in Ondo from here and take this high, at that point, finding a 5-wave in here is going to be a bit challenging, further confirming that yes, this is a correction structure into our wave 2, and after it's over, we are going to continue our move up into wave 3, 4, 5. And what we specifically said we don't really want to see was actually after having a move up, a move on the downside in order to take these lows, because that means that our correction in Ondo is not over and we may see some more downward price action. And as you can see, well, unfortunately, the second scenario played out. Now, let's zoom in more and count some waves, and here is the situation. In my view, this is probably an A, B, C in form of a zigzag structure, followed by that, I think, yes, probably I'm gonna say to about this high, we are having maybe like a W, X, Y in form of a double zigzag with a truncated second zigzag into our wave Y. I know they are quite rare, but it is possible to have something like this. And I think right now we might be on our way down to complete the subwaves for another ABC zigzag. And let's go around here. You see, in an ABC zigzag, subwaves are going to be like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave down into A, correction for wave B. We can have different patterns for it, maybe ABC, maybe WXY, maybe a triangle, and then another 5 wave down into C. Now, let's go on the live chart and see what is going on in this area. And I think we can consider different scenarios, but the best that I'm able to come up with is this. This can be probably to about here, 5 wave down into an A leg, and followed by that starting from this point and most likely ending to about here. We had a correction for our wave B, and I'm actually considering maybe having like an ABC in form of an expanded flat, and this is another move down into our C leg. And if this scenario is happening, but okay, odds are our move down in Ondo, and for that matter probably in a lot of other altcoins, may actually continue a little bit more, because for your C leg, we just said it earlier, we need to be able to find a 5 wave, right? But even if you want to be optimistic, even according to that scenario, you can say this is one, this is wave 2, probably in form of like an ABC running flat, 5 down into wave 3, correction for 4, and where is our wave 5? Answer, we don't really have it yet, so maybe we are going to have at least another move on the downside. Now, what needs to happen in here in order for us to flip bullish and say, you know what, maybe this is our final low? Here is what needs to happen. You see, I want to see in Ondo right in here in the next, I'm going to say maybe 12 to 24 hours, a consolidation pattern, and then another move on the upside, consolidation, another move up in order to take this very important high, about 77.5 cents. Why do we care about this? Because the moment that we go up in an impulsive manner and take this high, at that point, again, it's the same argument. Since we're not really going to be able to find a 5 wave from the highs to about the lows, it is going to be a very bullish sign, suggesting, yes, you know what, in Ondo, since this is an impulse and this is a correction, we can say most likely the bottom is in, and hopefully this is going to be the end of our correction for wave 2, excuse me, right in here. And then what's next? Hopefully a good move up into wave 3, 4, 5 in order to at least reach to about this very important area of resistance around, let's say, 1.1 to about $1.15. As long as I'm not seeing this move up though, I think we need to be just a little bit more patient and maybe expect like yet another move on the downside. And the fact that in like very short term, we're not really seeing a lot of volume in this move up is also not necessarily an optimistic sign, indicating, you know what, this move up might actually very well be a correction structure. And also right now, as you can see, as we are having this move down, the volume is spiking, is not again a good sign, suggesting, yes, maybe this move down is going to continue a little bit. But generally, I think we're not really going to have that much of a big move on the downside. It's just going to be so annoying to a degree that it might very well shake out a lot of investors and also traders out of their trades. But if you are here for the long run, I think these prices are actually great buy opportunities, because one way or the other, we are going to have, in my view, a bull run. And in that case, Ondo is definitely, in my view, going to be one of those projects that is going to participate in that bull run, and we can have some beautiful gains ahead. So because of that, I'm going to say, yes, this is, from my POV at least, a decent buy opportunity. And as we go down step by step in Ondo, I'm actually buying the dip one by one. So I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in Ondo's price chart. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.